Hello and welcome to another edition of Changeling the Dreaming and Darkness the Dublin venue. Today, Violet and Willow are just kind of hanging out at Violet's house. It's kind of been a rough day, just having some tea. Like friends do. Uh, Violet, of course, has got the little tea cakes and the tea set out. We'll go ahead and have Willow introduce herself.
Yeah, Willow has changed into a bit more comfy stuff, and she'll stop by Violet, ringing the doorbell, and stuff like that.
Violet will go open the door. She'll see that it's Willow, and she'll say, "Would you like some tea?"
Yeah, yeah, that sounds nice.
She's going to give you a Long Island iced tea.
Ooh, best kind of tea.
The ones that are spiked with booze.
Oh dear, oh dear. Willow is not much of a drinker. Doesn't mean that she doesn't like it. She just doesn't do that a lot. So she'll actually look a little surprised because it wasn't necessarily what she had in mind, but she is gonna ignore what she had in mind because unexpected surprises are the best.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, she'll sip from it. Well, probably have to cough a little bit at the first sip because not used to strong alcohol.
Oh, it's not like super strong. It's a kind of, just like a little mellow. Very,
Okay.
it warms you from, like, it's not like a whole bunch of alcohol to just, like get really drunk really fast. It's just the right amount of alcohol that kind of warms you up.
hmm Yeah, and she'll take a sip, close her eyes for a moment, sighs, and takes another one, and puts the glass down. And says, "So, how's things?"
I mean, things are alright. And how about you?
Out of character, is it before or right after, or like a couple of days before or after the party we just had?
I will let you decide.
Ah, come on! Don't do that to me. Just gonna roll to see. Like, okay, so one is before and two is after, and just gonna roll a d2. 'Cause I don't care. As soon as my Discord will actually start up, because for fuck's sake, come on. Just gonna see whether it opens faster on my phone actually. Oh no, there it is. Okay. Okay, so it's before. So yeah, she thinks for a moment and says, "Yeah, things are quiet, which is good because I have a lot of planning to do, to be honest. We went shopping today for your garden party actually. I hope you're gonna like my dress. Yeah.
Probably will.
It's mostly Alexis who is the better dresser out of the two of us. Never gotten quite used to it. I don't mind it, but he's the she.
Hmm.
But yeah, so how are preparations?
Preparations are going well. Should be done right on time.
Good to hear. I'm really looking forward to it. I saw the menu and it sounds absolutely delicious.
Oh yes, I worked very closely with Mr. Sharp?
I don't know him that well, but if you can work with him, I'm sure it's a fine dude. Gentleman, I should say. Sorry. So yeah, there's the garden party. Then there is the thing with the giants. Then there is the thing with the merfolk. Then there's the things that I just want to do. It's really busy.
It has been busy lately.
Yeah,
I felt like I haven't seen you in months.
feels like that, right? I'm glad that you've recovered well, by the way. I was worried.
I could tell, especially after I heard how you reacted.
You heard about that.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Very
well,
badass, in my opinion.
I, I thought I wouldn't see you again, and I was greatly upset by that. Um, I kind of lost my mind there, I think, for a moment.
Violet gives her a hug. You can't get rid of me that easy.
I don't want to get rid of you at all. I need some sort of, well, I know it's kind of weird to say for one of us, but I need some sort of sanity in my mind. And I know I'm not going to get that from Alexis.
That certainly is a thing. But honestly, I don't think we could have avoided this even if you didn't marry him.
I don't know. Well, anyway, it's marrying him. Yeah. Well, luckily he's found his new toy, and sometimes I think he really doesn't have any use for me.
Eyebrow raise at new toy.
I should not be speaking of this.
It's me, dear.
True. Well, you know his squire, right?
Yeah.
She's a little more than just his secretary.
Oh, okay. She doesn't seem surprised.
Willow doesn't look like that much upset, really.
I mean, he is a she.
Yeah. It's more that I don't think captive is the right word to say, but
You feel a little trapped.
yes. In all honesty, yes. I need to stand away, not away from him, but I need to be able to stand on my own feet and not rely on him. He's not bad to me or anything, don't get me wrong. It's just that.
He did shoot you in the leg. No, that was Saban.
No, he did. She punched me in the face. To be fair, I now killed her friend twice, so
You have to ignore him. He just went outside and he's mad nobody's paying attention to him.
oh, poor Pipper.
Yeah, so mistreated. Uh, Violet will say, forgot what I was gonna say. Give me a second.
Hmm.
My dog is distracting me. Um, well, I can't speak for them, but I enjoy your company. That's
Thank
something.
you. I'm glad. At least someone is. No, that's not. That's a lie. Don't get me wrong. I have friends, and I have you. It's like I just need to continue with my plans. Have I ever actually told you? I got a freehold from Alexis. I haven't really used it yet. I do have a plan for it, but I need to come up with a good action on it. Maybe you can help. You have experience with setting up businesses.
I do.
So, what I want to create is not necessarily a business. I want to create a community center for commoners to come and enjoy a cheap meal, um, follow art classes, that kind of thing. But like, I need to put a lot of stuff in that costs money, and I need to come, like, find people who are willing to help with like the cooking or having art classes,
Hmm.
things like that. So, how would you say I could best approach this?
First thing, I would find investors. I would. I am also willing to invest in this for you. Um, let's see. After investors, I would take a look at hiring people, and then the financial logistics are going to be fun.
Fun, you say?
She says fun with quotation marks.
Hmm. Yeah, well, I will take a big sip from the iced tea when this topic of financial logistics is brought up.
Sorry about him.
I was actually thinking about trying to find volunteers for the lessons,
Hmm.
uh, especially people who, like the commoners who don't have a lot of income. Uh, they need to be able to come here and to be able to relax, like, I'm thinking theater classes for like children, or
Hmm.
art classes for both kids and adults, maybe musical lessons. And yeah, I want to have like the ground floor. I want to have that like a simple restaurant where people can maybe pay 2 or 3 euros just to get a simple but satisfying meal.
Hmm.
um I want to kind of focus on like those commoners who actually need a little bit of support.
Shall not.
And so, like, for those who come to volunteer, there needs to be something uh, there. Because why else would you come as a volunteer?
Yeah. Um. Let's see. How about each person pay $2 a month for a community membership card, allowing you to pay the volunteers and buy supplies.
Hmm.
And those who can pay extra will get extra benefits. Um, for example, if somebody pays extra, they'll get one extra free lesson a week.
Hmm.
Um,
Maybe have like a little library. I could have perhaps also ask for those who are who have like a library of themselves, or maybe perhaps some of the noble houses with a library, if they have any old books, or if they have any books double, if they can like
mhm,
fund them
yes.
to this freehold.
House Saloon would be the place to ask for that.
Hmm.
Um, let's see.
As for the volunteers, of course, like we can give them like free meals,
Mhm.
a discount on following other classes.
Oh yeah. Hmm.
I have some savings for myself, so I could look into funding, like, because I'll need to have a kitchen installed that is proper to actually, cook for big groups, and doesn't need to be expensive, but tables and chairs and things like that. And like you said, supplies.
Yeah. I will also help out with investments.
I'll see if I can sell some of my art as well. I've never
You could
really. Mm,
you could perhaps host an art class yourself.
Yeah, I was planning to teach people about photography.
That's a good idea.
That is, if people want to actually listen to a former commoner became baroness.
It will. It is a
I'm-
complicated situation.
yeah. If I knew how complicated it would be beforehand, maybe I would have been wiser or made a different decision. Feels like both parties are rejecting me. The nobles look down on me because I am not a she. I wasn't born into nobility. And the commoners look down on me because, well, a lot of them feel betrayed by me marrying Alexis. I know not everybody feels like this, and I'm really happy that they don't. But sometimes I miss the more simple life. I'm not gonna lie.
Have you considered asking for a divorce?
Hmm. I've considered it when I realized what was going on between Saoirse and Alexis, but I doubt Alexis would agree with it, and that might make the situation worse. Also, I feel like I'm still in a position where I can reach out and achieve things, and that is what I wanted. So I guess I should just simply count my blessings and don't look at the losses too much.
She'll ponder. Position of awareness is a very useful one. The question is, do you trust Alexis?
Mm, that is a difficult topic. Do I trust him? He will do what is best for him. And as long as I fit in that plan, as long as I'm not a liability, I can trust him.
But
But I've made mistakes. Hmm?
what would cause you to be a liability in his eyes?
I think if I would hurt his reputation too much, I would not be surprised if that happens. I will find someone waiting in my bedroom. Is it wrong of me to think of him like that?
No, I don't think so. He
I really
is
hope
a
that you.
Russian mobster after all.
Yeah, and I think his reputation is one of the most important things that he has. But ultimately, he married me to show that he cared for commoners. And that is exactly what I am going to be. I am going to be that noble that hopefully the commoners will trust, in a sense.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm glad that the commoners have taken after the Americans in protest and not the French.
Yeah, well, the black rabbit stuff, white rabbit stuff is I don't think it has ended yet,
I don't think so either. The
but
commoners want to be heard.
exactly. But ultimately, that is an extremist group that not that doesn't represent all commoners. I think most commoners just want to be able to live their lives and make their own decisions, or have the idea that they're making their own decisions, have
Mhm.
a sample of freedom. And I hope that I can touch that part. Like, the middle group is always the biggest group. It's a group that you don't hear that often. You hear the extremists, the ones who are trying to suck up, or the ones that are trying to reject.
Mhm.
But there's strength in being that middle group. And if I can get them to come to my freeholds, to listen, to be part of that community, then I think I'm making steps in the right direction.
Violet will nod. It is a complex situation. No one easy solution.
No. And it's a thin line to walk to try and gain or keep the trust of the commoners, but also keep the ear of nobility.
A very fine line. You're always welcome here, you know.
Thank you. I do appreciate that. I Have you actually thought about the offer that I made you? I'm fine if you say no, by the way. That's really I understand.
I don't think it's the right move for me at the moment. I I would one day like to be a squire, but I do not believe that House Verge would be the right house for me.
That is fair. I can understand. Well, if you ever have need of a liege lord, I would gladly accept you as my squire no matter what house you are.
If you can take a house to find me, or if you can take, let's see. Sorry, give me a second. I'm pulling out my changeling book. Violet will also walk away for a moment. Oh, are you okay, Edna? Are you okay?
Oh
I'm
no.
sorry. I'm
What
sorry I
happened?
didn't mean to bump you.
Oh no.
He's very dissatisfied with me, isn't he? But yeah, Violet comes back with a little notebook with hand drawn house symbols. And she'll start flipping through them. Let's see. Um, Okay. Um, maybe, honestly, House of Leo works for Violet very well.
Oh God.
She'll casually say if you find somebody willing to let me into House of Leo.
I'll see if I can, put in a good word for you.
She'll nod gratefully. I would appreciate it.
It's the least I can do. You have helped me so much.
And I would still. You know what? That reminds me. I have something to do. And she. Sorry, I had to look something up. I'm so glad I have the book. It makes my life easy.
It does.
264. Okay. If you would accept it, I would offer you the oath of clasped hands.
I'm not gonna look it up. Could you quickly
Yeah,
describe what that is?
I'll read it to you right quick so you know what it is.
Thank you.
Uh, I'm gonna read you the system first. One of the most serious oaths possible for a changeling, second only to an oath of marriage, if that this oath belongs only to those changelings who feel a bond for a friend beyond that of mere friendship. To undertake the oath makers clasp hands around a double-edged blade while saying the words. Each player spends a point of glimmer to empower the oath. The mixing of the blood welds together the bond between the two oath makers, strengthening and affirming their friendship. At the completion of the ceremony, the oath makers each gain a willpower point. If either party breaks the oath, both of them lose 2 willpower points. Note that their lives do not actually end. Some of the willpower perishes in a symbolic loss of vitality. In some changeling circles, the breaking of an oath may lead to ritual suicide, but this happens only rarely and only when such practices are a part of historic tradition.
Okay. We'll think about it. And says that might even better than you being my squire. I would prefer that actually because we would be able to keep seeing each other as equals. And even though I am a baroness and you're not, we met as equals, and I feel equal.
already. I'll read out the oath out loud.
I got it. I actually grabbed it. But I do believe we have to notify an ST if we're actually gonna do an oath. Like,
let's poke Maya or Diamond. Let me pull up the Facebook.
Mhm.
We shall have a brief interlude. Let's see. This is Darkness in Dublin, where we offer many venues. We offer Changeling the Dreaming, obviously. Mage the Ascension. Vampire the Masquerade. Is it Demon the Fallen or Demon the Descent?
Demon the Fallen, yes.
Um,
And Werewolf the Apocalypse.
Werewolf the Apocalypse. I know I was forgetting. Also, I'm pretty sure this oath is very appropriate considering that Violet literally chimerically died for you.
And Willow jumped ship to the unseelie sides for Violet.
Where's my... Oh.
Nobles are gonna have a heart attack over Willow making such an oath to a commoner.
See, they won't know unless you tell them.
Nope, they will not know indeed.
I'm like, Violet is very understanding, but you can't like just go around telling people willy-nilly.
Nope. No. This is gonna go between them and between them only. Well, between them and the dreaming, basically.
Yes. Maya has seen my messages, so I believe she will join us if possible. She said she'll be here shortly.
Okay.
You're okay.
Why did I know to you two?
Yay!
Hi, Maya.
All right.
We
Let me
have
just. Mm-hmm.
oath picked out already. It's the Oath of Clasped Hands. We figured it'd be wildly appropriate since, Violet literally chimerically died for Willow.
Mm-hmm. All right. Send me the oath right up.
Okay. I'm gonna type it up real quick, and I'm gonna mute so I don't sound like murder typing like Evan does.
I might be able to copy paste it from the PDF. That might be faster. Let's see if my computer wants to cooperate with me. Oh, come on. Oh, stop. Yeah. See. If now my Facebook wants to cooperate, I have it with you in a bit. My computer is being lame. Oh, it's not being that lame. Let's see. Yeah, I got it. It's coming to you right now-ish.
All right. Okay. So I will say this. As STs for Changeling in particular, we take oaths very seriously. Saskia knows this as well. I just want to reiterate to you, Kim.
Mhm.
We take it seriously.
Yes.
Are you absolutely sure you want to tie your characters to this? Don't give me a direct answer now. Give me a few minutes. Think about it. Because breaking this oath will have consequences. She is a commoner who is also nobility. So there are things that will come up between you two, particularly because you are a commoner who is also a red cap.
Yeah.
So are you absolutely sure that you think this is wise for your character?
I mean, it's not wise for my character, but it's what they both want to do.
Would our characters know what would be able to happen?
Yes, your characters would know the consequences of this oath being broken, as well as this oath happening.
See, I know the system says we gain a willpower for taking the oath, and we would lose 2 willpower
Yes.
taking the oath.
So it is good to take the oath in mathematics-wise because you get that extra willpower.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, if we were to break it, you lose 2 willpower. As well as the backlash that the dreaming, i.e. the STs, will put upon you for breaking it.
Mm-hmm.
We are very serious about oaths.
Mm-hmm. And breaking it would be if either of us would betray the other, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And it doesn't have to be oh, I hate her. It is basically betraying them in the semblance of, because the oath is between you two. It is the bond of your blood and wanting to make sure that it is based upon your friendship. Because it is so serious. It could be as simple as Willow not stepping in if, say, she were to, like a noble were to go out of their way to abuse Violet. If Willow does not step in, that could be seen as a betrayal because Willow is a noble. She is a commoner, but she is a noble. You know, not turning her eye away to her friend being abused would be seen as a betrayal. But it is not something that can be guaranteed won't happen. Because, unfortunately, the Shi are very traditional and they will treat commoners the way they think they should be treated.
See, but like...
We don't generally have this happen, but I'm not the only ST.
I will say, like, Violet wouldn't see that as a betrayal. Because, you know, other people's actions don't control Willow.
No, but if Willow would be standing next to it and she would not interfere, I can see how
Yes.
maybe not Violet would see it as a betrayal, but the dreaming
But the dreaming would.
Yeah.
Because she is there to protect you. As you are there to protect her.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So I want to reiterate again. Are you absolutely sure? And it's not just for your characters, it is you as players.
I'm still down.
You're still
Me
down
too.
because I refuse to undo another oath. I will punish you both.
I'm down.
All right. Now, did you have a scene starting beforehand
Yes.
before you called me over?
Yes.
Okay.
We're live.
I know we're live,
Okay.
but I just wanted to know if this wasn't the beginning of it.
This is kind of like the middle of the scene.
All right.
Yeah.
And I'm going to mute myself and witness it. And when you're done with the scene, post
just
it on your blue books.
This is privately in Violet's house,
Mm-hmm.
and they're just kind of having tea and talking.
Perfectly understandable.
Okay. And so, shall we read it? Shall one read it to the first comment and then let the other person read the first line?
We would need actually a double-edged blade because we need to
Mm-hmm.
hand around it. So, would Violet have something like that in her house?
Yes.
She should. She's a chef.
Yeah, I mean,
That'd be like the perfect.
She actually has a very pretty, clear crystal double-edged dagger. It's just like a clear crystal all the way through, even the handle.
If you like, I can recite it for you both.
Yeah, that would be easier than both of us, you know.
Doing it word for word. Okay. So describe your characters, and I'll start. Whenever you're ready.
So, Violet offers Willow to take this oath for her and for each other. And I'm assuming Violet or Willow accepts. What would
Yeah.
her? Yeah. Okay. So
And like they both hold the blade that Violet is getting,
yes.
and I believe they need to hold it like real tightly
Mhm.
because it involves a mixing of blood. So Willow will grab like the blade and
So
grab it as tightly as possible.
yes, I imagine the blade is like we're kind of holding hands like this with the blade in between our hands
Mhm.
Hmm.
and bleeding onto each other as the oath says.
Okay. So as Willow and Violet's hands are clasped together, their hands being pierced by the edges of the blade, they will both recite the oath, and the feeling of the dreaming will press upon them the mixing of the blood. Blood for blood, bone for bone, life for life, until none walk the earth save we alone. I place my life into your hands, my blood in your veins, my bones as your bones. Hold me well as I hold you, and I will lend you my strength. Break your bond, and we may both perish. I swear to you friendship by this oath of clasped hands and shared hearts. At the end of it, the dreaming will press upon their hands. They will feel a searing pain in their hands. And once their hands separate, the blood drips away. Slight sliver of a cut will be seen. That cut will stay until their end of days. You are now bounded. Congratulations.
Yay.
Yay! Thank you, Maya.
No problem. Okay, since this is the middle, I shall flee.
Get your OP.
Yeah, I was eating dinner. Bye.
Oh no!
I'm sorry.
So I jumped in. I was just like, all right, what's going on?
Oh no! Bye bye, eat well. Bye.
I can't believe I interrupted her dinner.
Right? Oh no. So yeah, Willow will look at her hand and look at Violet's hand, and then just hugs Violet's.
She will hug you back.
So instead of you being an investor in this freehold, do you want to be my partner?
I would enjoy that very much. I'm glad you took the oath.
Me too. It feels good.
It does. I was thinking about offering you an oath of fealty, but this one felt better.
Yeah, I would have accepted an oath of fealty. Don't get me wrong, but it's not a one-sided thing. But it feels more one-sided. This feels, like I said,
Equal.
for each other we're equal. Maybe society won't see it that way, but for each other we're equal, and I think that is us.
I'm really glad we're friends.
Me too. It's feels good to have a friend, and it has felt good for the longest time, and to have it confirmed like this is like a cherry on top of the cake.
Indeed.
I mean, I know I could rely on you, and I hope you feel the same way before this, but yeah.
I am unsure if we should let other people know about this oath. It is a very powerful oath.
I know if we do that, especially the group of people I associate with will probably not have much good to say about it. And I don't want them to spit on this because I would get very upset. If it's all right with you, I would prefer to have both of us know it and the dreaming and leave it at that.
Violet will nod. I agree. Sorry
Oh,
about him.
puppy. No, no, it's fine. Oh, he sounds so sad though.
Just think he's mistreated. It's not
Oh,
true.
I know, I know.
I'm near you're okay. He's clearly very mistreated. How's
Clearly.
he ever gonna live? But I guess we can either go back to gossiping, or if you're good with the where this is at, we could call it here.
Yeah, yeah. Willow would ask if there's anything that she can do for Violet because at this point, Violet has given her a lot of help with like, planning out stuff to do with the freehold and everything. And yeah, Willow would like to know if there's anything she can do for Violet, but yeah.
Violet will politely say, if you can find me squireship under House of Leo, that's all I would like. But
Like, I will see what I can do. I have not got many.
I
Oh wait,
understand. I understand that you cannot guarantee my acceptance.
unfortunately I cannot. But I will make them aware of you and of your qualities.
I do thank you for that.
Well,
She gives you another hug.
Willow will return the knock. Knock. God damn it, it's late. Sorry. The hug. And she'll get up and says, "Well, time for me to return to my darling husband. I'll see you soon.
I'll be glad to see you here again.
I'll make sure to drop by, and at least we'll see each other at the party."
We will.
And yeah, with that and a final hug, Willow will leave, and I think we can close the scene.
Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watchers, for watching. This has been another edition of Changeling the Dreaming, where, of course, we're getting into shenanigans. Have a nice night.